it could come back to bite them in the bottom a little bit, but we'll find out. This is the first time we'll really get to grips with it, and it is going to be kicking off right now, Ben. ENCE versus eUnited here on Overpass as we start off this best of 3.
So keep in mind what eUnited did in the pistol last time. We saw Vanity face mid with a P250, and he immediately got his head taken off by the facer, which was a Liege. Instead, this time they gave Freakazoid the P250. His head hasn't been taken off, but I imagine a bit of his shoulder has, based on the 13 damage.
Yeah, it's at least, you know,
it's a shoulder shot, isn't it? Like, there's not as much.
Bit by a tick under his arm.
Yeah, that's 13% of your health.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Ooh.
That's all of it gone.
Yeah, there you go.
That
Finish
is all
him
gone.
straight off. Freakazoid's head instantly annihilated there. Sergey will get the opening frag.
So no matter what, it seems to be a curse if you are given the P250 on the United side, on the T side pistol of this map. You do get taken straight out. But nevertheless, they actually keep the grenades though, which is different. Last time they lost half of them. So that smoke will come in centre of site. And it should mean a plant is guaranteed here. Especially with the smoke coming into heaven, it means they can definitely just run across, go for a plant either side.
Ooh, wow.
Not when the planter is the person who has other nades, which means he has no armour. That's quite bold, so not a good start. 3v5, bomb should go down regardless.
Fleet's finally got the bomb down. Actually starts going off on a bit of a mad one as well now. Suddenly it's all left on him though. And a 1 versus 2. Flashes back through the smoke, actually going for a big ball of play, but wasn't able to make it work as Sergey will find the frag with the USP. And that round was thrown into chaos instantly.
I was wondering if he was going to be giving them a second serving right there of food as he came back through that smoke. The flash actually didn't get both players though. That was kind of the sad part about it. It felt like it should have. And he's immediately bought a Krieg and armor. So let's see how they surround the buy then. So who's going to be taking the hit actually in this situation? It looks like Cooper's dropped an SG himself. And Vanity does the same. So 2 SGs, an AK, 2 Deagles. That's plenty of opening potential.
It's a good buy. They can do an awful lot with it. They've instantly gone for it, Ben. They're back in the game.
Back in the game. That is for sure. So the question is, how do they utilize having this weaponry? So it seems very distant when it comes to actually fighting that mid peak. Do ENCE expect them to have the weapons? I feel like you should. The crazy thing with all this, like these buys that we see now, is the fact that if you get 2 kills on the pistol and a plant, and you're the one who planted it, you can get your own weapons. Which means you get a situation like this where there's 3 of them in play. So we'll have to see how they do utilize this weaponry. I like them working as a pairing as well, just because then you can guarantee a trade more or less. Either that or you lose both players, in which case there's not much you can do, right?
Yeah, it's the luck of the draw at that point if it does go wrong for you. They're going to go for the little boost over though, peer in, see if they can spot anyone actually lurking around right now as we hit towards the minute mark. Still taking it slow. eUnited had a very, very slow default for the most part on their T side when we saw them face off versus Liquid. It did work out quite well for them. So let's see if the same can be said here as it's being applied against ENCE's CT half.
Yeah, so ENCE playing quite defensive, understanding, and that is the first shot we actually hear from it.
And normally Marky would hit those as well.
In the Liquid game, he was hitting incredible one-taps. And most of the time when he really shouldn't have at all. So it looks like they're going to be faking towards A. Hopefully pull the rotation from Sunny, who I believe is the rotor right now. But look, they're delaying it. He's actually jump spotting and seeing people short. They know, there's 15 seconds.
Ooh, all right, well they run straight into the crosshairs of F7, who's just going to start to slaughter them. Aerial comes into effect as well.
There's not enough time.
Yeah, they have traded it back at least to get 1 frag. Freakazoid picks up another. They're not going to get the bomb down, but they're still committing towards the push towards the site. Freakazoid realizes what's afoot and tries to get out of there at least with his life. It's all right.
Yeah, not a bad trade, I suppose. A lot of people prefer that weapon now. But X7, he dealt with the players who had no armor very well, and the trade from Aerial basically won the round on its own. So ultimately, ENCE, they dealt with it very well, and I think the big bit is, the big part about that actually was just straight up. Sunny, before rotating, he's like, I'll jump spot short anyway, just to have a look. And he sees all 3 players come out door, and he's like, I don't think it's an A, boys. I'm pretty confident it's B. And they deal with it very easily, in all honesty. That's not a good start to the weapon.
No, he's broken his legs on the way down.
That's not ideal. He's had a tick bite, broke his legs.
Knee's gone.
Not great, not great. So double nades go through the pipe. Not much doing with that. It really depends on the timing here. They've heard them run back here. But Ali was watching that angle as well from the elevated actual grass area.
They're going to fall back towards the site right now. Just hold towards the angle. Deep smoke comes through. Cooper jump spots it and just gets a slight amount of info for it. Sergey's playing on the close angle by map as well. So if they do try and bombard past him, he should at least be able to get the early entry. Vanity caught out in the open as well. Exposed the one is Lonesome. Cooper taking a heavy hit, knocking him down to 51. It's not really going too well for eUnited as they're basically all just going in one by one. They're so staggered, Bets. There's no opportunity for anything to develop out of this.
Yeah, not quite having any chance in that situation there. Arlo retrieves the SG as well. It just felt like the easiest possible eco frags you could find, in honesty. Like, not even headshotting the opponents, you just body shot them. They don't land a single hit, you're giving the main punch immediately. 3-0. Cooper gets the AWP out. So it actually took a while for the AWP to come out in the Liquid series, didn't it? It was like, what, round 8, 9?
It was pretty deep in. They were mostly just playing with the rifles.
They were winning with the rifles was the kind of main issue I had with it. But then obviously he still delivered as an individual. But you know, it's not just about his own play, right? With the team, rifle made a lot more use, or actually more success, I suppose.
A lot of awkward pieces of timing here across the map. Marquee nearly finding an opener. Same can be said for Cooper as well, luckily being able to back off at the right time. Aerial, realising the fact that he was close by, still completely exposes himself as he goes for the cross. Will get slain for his troubles, but Marquee is left only on 8 HP. It is an early entry kill, though, for eUnited at the very least.
Yeah, an early entry kill in general, as a T-side player, you're probably just thinking, great, let's start trying to identify where the missing gap is. Overpass is quite a nice map for that as well, just because it's so easy to try and isolate the actual gap. It's usually the rotate player you end up missing. But in this scenario, ENCE are actually believing, let's go 3B. We'll leave Sergey on his own towards A, which is very bold play. And hopefully he can deal with it from there. But look how slow this T-side is in general. Like, we've got 40 seconds left. They still haven't gone beyond the toilets. And they'll only get there, you know, by what, 25 seconds, I imagine? Actually clear through the toilets. By then it might be potentially too late. They might. I don't think they'll rotate a player off on B.
They were leaving these rounds very late and very slow before.
And this might be a little
bit too slow. Yeah, it does take down Marquee. Luckily enough, he previously traded over his Krieg to Freakazoid as he had full HP. So he'll still be able to wield the weapon going in towards the attack on the site. But this could be an absolute onslaught, really, then. There's 10 seconds left. They're committing to this. All the ENCE have to do is essentially delay, and the round's over anyway. They start to use their offensive utility to try and do some damage. Freakazoid takes a bit of a hit from it. They sprint their way back up long. Sergey goes for the extension. Luckily, he's still allowed to reface and slays Vanity. And they do have an advantage going into this. Cooper with the AWP. He's a sniper with a hell of a scope, and he's going to attempt to take out a cop or two, but he'll only get one. It's back on food. He's got the AK, and he's trying to make him hit the DECK. Left in the 1v1 now. And the push comes up. Sunny with a sidestep, hits him. Finds the frag, takes a bite clean out of him, Ben. And that's another round going the way of ENCE as they'll pick up a 4th there.
That's a great victory, though, across the board, because that's a 5v4. You've allowed them so much room as well there on the end side of things. Like, Sergey, he gets quite fortunate with the grenade. It goes around the corner, actually gets the kill. But from that, they kind of had a clear idea, we'll let them plant. There's no point trying to force this. But I kind of feel like Vanity, I'm not sure why he ran down long, looking at long. Like, sure, when you run that back like that whole way, you might as well have your gun at looking the other way completely. You should trust that long is probably clear, considering he naded from sight. Rough one to lose, an aerial, of course, the M4A1S user, so we just need to see how that works out. I always get amazed when I still see somebody using it.
Yeah, there's not many left at this point. No. People that actively still bring them out, so it was always a bit of a rare treat in some ways. He does actually get the info on the jump spot. Saw Freakazoid, goes for a little bit of a spam, very reserved. I suppose you have to be, really.
They may have had an extra clip, but it's still not quite. Oh, that's an unfortunate kill to lose as well. Not much you can do other than trying to go away from the regular spam spots. But an opening kill for ENCE, and they've actually been forced out with the monster pipe by just flashbangs there. Like, it wasn't even a combination of like a HE grenade to like doubling up or a Molotov pushing them back. Just flashbangs seem to have forced them backwards.
Sunny still trying to get a bit of information for his troubles, is he?
Well, they're trying this boost again.
Now this worked out very well in the past. Marky was doing a very effective job of actually getting the early entries, most of the time with the Krieg. Smooth moves to actually get himself up, and the timing's perfect. Sunny revealing the back of his scalp.
Aerial still has a smoke. It's too late though.
Starts to swarm into him. Oh, actually Cooper doing the majority of the work here, Ben. All of the groundwork coming through off the back of his Krieg skills. Alu advances, Marky decapitates him, and now Sergey is left in a scenario where potentially he could still save the day. He does have a kit, the Molotov as well, but there is no utility left for eUnited. They have nothing. Their reserves have run completely dry, but they will still have the raw firepower that is in their hands. Sergey advancing out towards the site, launches out the Molotov, suspecting someone in the angle, but there isn't going to be anyone there. So it essentially gets wasted at this point. He does pick up another Molotov though, but no one's faced him. No one's had to react or move out of position off the back of the molly as well. So he might just play to see if he's pushed here. If Cooper extends too far round, it's at least one kill. He could still grab the AWP and get away.
Which it looks like he should do, although quite close to the bomb radius, yeah. So he probably wasn't that far from surviving there. Probably did like 40 damage maybe. But because of how close those rounds have been, it means ENCE pretty much don't have any money left for the most part. But unfortunate timing, I guess, from Aerial there, and he got caught completely stuck between two different opportunities of actual battle. So the buy comes through anyway for ENCE because they recognise our money's not great. They only had one alive anyway. Let's see if we can try and revert this situation. Still have an AWP, that's not too bad. Obviously, Alu can come alive at any moment. Sergey having a deagle, it's not too bad, I guess. Sunny has the M4. Kind of hard to argue a case either way. That's not a good start, though.
That's a good effective trade, however. Sunny trying to look bright into this one as he goes for the push out, finds the opening frag. They do actually blind themselves on the rephase. They're all going one by one as well. It was so staggered on the peak, so he's allowed to actually get the opening pick back onto Cooper. Sergey, it's a free shot onto Food, and it was a tasty one nonetheless, straight to the back of the head. Leaves him slumped out on the ground. They're down into a 2v2 here, Ben. This round has been incredibly back and forth in how fast they've been trading all the kills. There is a minute left on the clock. Marky does have the bomb, but he's very low on life.
You could argue that the best weapons have actually dropped on ENCE here as well. The M4's down, the AWP is down, the Deagle's down. An MP9 SCZ. I mean, the MP9 is not too bad for range, in all fairness to it. And they just smoke A long, but they're pairing up. I do like the idea of pairing in the system. And if they get into toilets, they'll actually... Oh, they'll be very close to hearing us, or they'll get a great backstab, depending on the timing. One of them should clear long. I'm not sure if they'll pair up to do it, though. That's kind of the crucial part here. X7's making the move. And he's going up long as well. This should be an ENCE round.
Thing is, he's got that MP9, but Marky is so low, and Marky's the one who'll get first contact with the trigger discipline as well. It's so nice. They're just going to try and tiptoe their way up. In reality, there's no real reason why eUnited should turn around and face to the rear. He gets the opening kill. Vanity is done for. Aerial will sideswipe in and swoop down on Marky. And they do get that round. They're able to clutch it out there in the tense last few moments.
Yeah, very well, nicely played from them. Obviously, Aerial identifying. He can go a different way. X7's already seen them. I'll run the other way, try and find a gun, and then I should get some range on that side. So across the board, a very unlikely round, I think it's fair to say. Especially when you consider they started off with Alu getting picked off, and he had the actual AWP in that scenario. But ultimately, it was a case of the flashbang long not doing enough. Right, they threw it the first time, he actually blinded Cooper. That nade's not done as much as I thought it would. Ooh. They're trying to commit for this. The Molotov's still up at Monster there.
They've been completely slowed down as well by the smoke wall, and the nades are just shredding them. They're being riddled by shrapnel, and it's slowing them down on the push. Although they're straight in towards the site, there is smokes everywhere. Confusion across the board, but eventually as their vision starts to be restored, they're going to cause some chaos.
They're already at Monster though. Two of them. Too many targets though. Sergey gets one but gets dropped. Aerial returns with one. 3v3 though.
Aerial. He's got the M4 in hand. Teetering on a knife's edge, deciding if he actually wants to go for the extension out. Sunny.
They never saw Sunny at Monster.
He's been able to walk in for free. He's got the angle as well, but he's missing the shots. Luckily, he still gets the kill. He has all of the utility in the world, and he's going to start flicking his way through it rapidly. Launches out the Molotov. This is going to be really useful because Freakazoid is going to be burnt to a crisp. Vanity, however, just sprinting his way in, gets behind them, and unfortunately couldn't actually get the kill. They have just enough time as well. It's going to be the last tick as ENCE will pick up another round. Tense stuff, though.
That's got to be one of those 0.008 diffusers, right?
Yeah.
Because that was full-on last tick. So imagine the scenario if he actually didn't sprint out, because they went on the bomb. If he actually held his step for just a half second, he probably wins the round just by maybe luckily going around the corner, hitting Alu, who had the kit.
Well, no one was ready for it. They weren't holding it at all.
It sounds like it must have been a situation where the comms are so hectic that him sprinting all that way just isn't heard.
Yeah.
Which happens more often than not. People seem to forget about that when they watch online, like, or just in general, games like with CS, where the comms are also a factor, right? That's why sometimes people used to say about like NA comms, for example, they're quite loud, quite hectic. And that's true. Like, it's a very true situation where sometimes you need a clear and concise call rather than the same thing 3 times, 4 times, 5 times over and over again when it's happening. It is a buy round though. The bomb plant was a big one. Alu's going to be holding that same angle he held earlier, but it's an AWP this time. Does get flashed up, but he stayed there quite a few seconds.
Yeah, he did. He was just lingering around. He was
very
spotted
bold.
out.
I suppose it wouldn't be Alu if it wasn't a bold player, but he is quite high risk, high reward kind of guy. So separated on the A side, it's kind of scary though.
It's the fact as well that Sergey...
Oh, he's about to... I thought Alu's going to flash for him.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a rough one though here, really, actually. On the position he's playing, if they do come around and play this correctly, they should actually be able to isolate him very easily.
Sonny's arrived.
It's lucky he's got the backup coming through now. Flash goes over. He was playing anti-flash. Sonny, close there. Good flick on the first. Does get tagged down incredibly low, but he's still alive. Vanity, he can't really afford to reface this on his lonesome as well. They have to cause a distraction towards the actual site, which they will. They get their way in. Sergey reacts and is supported by X7. So they can now push their way back in towards the bomb site, and it's going from bad to worse fairly quickly as well, Ben. They have a 3-pronged retake set up for this round. Food starts to expand out. He's gone deep into the bank. Does get the backstab off. Aerial has fallen. Marky does get spotted by X7. And as Food returns to the scene of the crime, Sergey will arrest him.
Yeah, I think it's hitting the point where you should go for a pause, right? But the classic situation with CS in general, these rounds have been relatively close, right? It's been 2, maybe 3 alive for ENCE every time they've won. So you're feeling quite close. You're like, we get to the post plants, we just can't hold it down. Which is true. In all fairness, it is true, but the momentum keeps building. You have to consider, they're also getting very hyped every time they win, whilst you're getting even more tilted as the rounds go. So they'll keep getting these buy rounds out, but the grenades are getting lower. There's only so much you can get from that loss bonus. Obviously, it's 4,200 when you get a bomb plant, and lose at the full max full max loss bonus rather. But the other side of it is, you are still very close to breaking that ENCE economy. It's a really tough game, because you can keep going the whole way, but you need to break it at some point to make it worth it.
Wow. Okay, well, Sergey gets the entry frag, so he will take down Vanity. Alu falls back towards the site as well after being dinked down to 60 HP. Quite an aggressive opener into this round, not as slow as we've seen previously, but they are still playing it basically the same way. Bomb going to be picked up and now sprinted over so they can group up once again and try and kick off another battle for the toilets, whilst Alu could be fed another frag here, Ben. All timing.
Flash just comes through as well. It should be a free kill, but is there a trade possible? Yes, there is. Still a 3v4 though. Sergey.
Oh. Is this man a mechanic?
You didn't see him? Can he actually go for the ace here is the real question. Nah.
No. Sonny denies the 5 potential. Marky's the only one that's left at this point. Oh, the nades are still just bombarding in, blowing him to bits as they land all around him. Some cheeky off angles in plays. They're just swarming, just all grouped up like a line of dominoes. Marky's going to reload the Krieg, but there's not really much slaying he can possibly achieve going into this. They're all going to be able to complement each other so easily. It will be a real struggle for him. Fires off the warning shot. That's 1, that's 2! Oh, the flicker cross. It was one of those moments where it looks like it just starts going his way. But luckily, they do put an end to it.
But the thing is, that was a 1v4. He got 2 more people down, which means it was actually quite a close round.
Yeah.
If there was a plant, I think eUnited would be buying in.
It made it way more costly than it was going to be.
Yeah, and you can see the effect on ENCE right now. You've got Sunny on 5,200, which fine, that's great. Arlu 44, but then everybody else below 700. eUnited are finally taking it, like, yeah, we're accepting. If we lose this one, whatever, we're going to buy next. Food's probably spent a bit too much. If you get a plant, it's fine. But there's actually quite a lot of utility here. They've got the triple nade, but is there 3 people outside Monster? They know there's nobody on short or towards the boost, though. They might decide to do something different, but look at X7. He's been doing that quite a lot with the MP9. Like, he goes close to the smoke. I think it's a one-way so he can check tight left. And then on his way out, he just kind of shoots just to cause havoc. So triple nade to barrels was the goal this time. Doesn't look as good when no kill returns from it. It was much nicer before.
X7. Oh, he's playing the close angle, playing anti-flash, and right now, in a flash, Aerial has just destroyed each and every one of them that attempt to push through. They've all been ripped to shreds. Cooper gets a face full of nade, and this is a horrible spot to be left in. This should surely be the 9th round, locked up by ENCE. As Cooper hits the deck, and Food is just sat there doing a bit of surf.
He kind of needs a kill there. As I said, his buy was a bit too much. I don't think he gets a chance for it.
Oh, he's already been tagged up as well.
He was hoping to find Aerial because he knew he was probably low. Unfortunately, does not get it. That's such an unfortunate situation, though, because you get that first kill. Freakazoid actually does decent damage. Marky, I think, was the one that dinked him. But the player behind is just like, he's killed me. I'm not sure what I meant to do about that. So finally a pause comes out.
It's quite late, though.
You're 9-1 down already. You normally have a better T side than a CT side. It's... yeah.
That's the thing where it's way more worrying, is because as much as we were talking about it quite a bit, that was where their dominance was coming out from. The T side was way more effective from them. Whereas it looks like ENCE, they're quite eager to let them play this really slow style, and they don't really care. Like, at least with what we saw from Team Liquid, is they were a little bit more zealous in terms of the aggressive plays they went for, whereas that's just not been the case at all from ENCE. They haven't had to as much. Haven't really been pushing the agenda unless it's around where they've actually been down in terms of their firepower, so they feel a bit more freedom to try and go aggro. Also, the B site has been a much, much tougher nut to crack here for eUnited.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. I mean, think about how Liquid played that A site. Elige was left on his own to go aggressive more often than not.
Yeah.
And that fell right into eUnited's hands. And so just pretty much, if they go aggressive, it's usually as like 3. Otherwise, you're going to see them on site. That nade has absolutely destroyed Food as well. So I said he'd have quite a weak buy. It's weak because of the lack of utility. So he had that one Molotov, I believe he threw it towards B short. And now he has nothing. That Molotov slightly too early. Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine Sergey gets much from that. Ooh. So there's still Sunny inside door, which is kind of the concern here. Yeah, so that's actually a 3v5 now for United. Can they actually capitalise further, is the question, right? Because we've seen them have advantages before.
Yeah, they've been able to actually get quite nice early round leads and then throw it away once they get into the late round. ENCE have done a very good job of being able to trade effectively in these positions, so let's see if that can happen once again. You've got Cooper on the AWP, the big man sniper superstar, as they'll look to try and get an opening pick potentially towards this site. They set themselves up though. Utility is going to light up the skies as it gets cast in towards the bomb site. Food takes a ton of damage from a HE. Next 7 is playing awfully close. Talking about a close, awkward shot though. Alu missing, then capitalized by Vanity. X7 firing off warning shots, but there's a man in the rear, and his name is Freakazoid. As he starts to really put them into a world of hurt, Ben, it all comes down to Aerial. He somehow has to salvage this round. It's a good start, however. Finds the uppercut off onto Marky, pushing his way through as well. Bombarding towards Long. It was the awkward spam that came out. Potentially, it could have been a nice headshot follow-up there onto Freakazoid. Instead, it gave him an opportunity to battle back. And eUnited finally get another round on the board.
Yeah, that plan was really awkward. It actually wasn't the normal plan. It was slightly... I believe it was like slightly around the corner of the default boxes, which means... So Cooper, if that kill went on Freakazoid there, Cooper would have gone to the regular spot, like near the back of highway, looked towards the bomb site and been like, I can't see it.
Yeah.
And he could have defused that bomb entirely in that time. But as he said, it's another round for them. And obviously Kozlo's, previous 6 rounds were quite close for them. It means we see a slightly weaker buy from ENCE. So the triple nade towards the jump spot results in nothing at all this time. Which I do like that way of using it, because I mean, the only other times you use the HE grenades effectively on this map, typically if you're on B short, for example, you nade over towards barrels, which they did before. But ENCE seems to be pretty eager to avoid doing that. I mean, Sunny did it just now, but because he just saw, well, they triple naded anyway. It's not going to happen again. So Ali took some damage for that.
Yeah.
He ran across the smoke as the spam was coming through. He must have really wanted to move in that case. He's gone back to that same spot again. He got flashed off last time and he held for quite a while. It's because he wants to go for that single shot, which is really risky in my mind.
It could have a big payoff behind it, but I don't know if it's really worth the risk you do potentially run of allowing them then to storm their way up towards the A site. Sega would be so isolated at that point. With a United vintage play start at this point, Ben, with not really much time left.
That second smoke monster kind of makes this push really impossible. If they hold monster fully as that 2, and Sunny covers short for them, it should be easy, but the flashes don't do anything.
Ooh.
Sunny's covered the back, this should be round 1.
Surely this is done. They have no time. They do have the bomb, but it doesn't really matter at this point. You're not going to even get onto the site. They're just going to have to hold. Cooper, fully focused on the angle, expect potentially another peak to come around.
But they don't need to, do they? I mean,
well,
Sergey's wild and out.
They're just giving it. Oh, all right.
That's another case of right-hand peek, I think.
Yeah.
So I say he's like, I'm fully around the corner. Nah, not at all. But that's another situation where ENCE have given up another death every single time. Like, it feels like they've been a bit overzealous, which, to be fair, if you think about how Arlu plays and Sunny in the past has played, they seem pretty... They don't mind having a death if it means potentially getting a kill or 2 in return. But if you're doing that as a team, that doesn't bode well in my mind. Like, it doesn't matter that the score's 10-2, it's just still... You know, you want that high efficiency kind of play, don't you?
Yeah, it's all about the percentages. But right now, they're just taking a lot of damage straight to the face. Markey already brought down to 50 HP to open this one up. The smoke stops any chance of Cooper causing some shenanigans as well as he peers off short. It's risky for Markey as well. He's so low. Ferro does just tag him up even slightly more. He could be dropped here. He's so lucky that he's still alive in these positions.
Food's walking out. Does he get the kill on X7 there? This is an awkward angle to actually take to, but he gets it.
It's a good headshot, but he's still got more work to do here as he storms in towards the site. He's going to do exactly that, Ben. Gets the follow-up kill. Aerial's taken down. Sunny on the sideline, however, could be so strong. The stopping power this man could have would be unprecedented as he gets one. Follows it up into the second, but it's all on him now. The weight of the world is on his shoulders. Tiptoes his way around with a sickeningly good one-tap to take down Freakazoid. Puts it back into the 1v2. Cooper, if he extends out, Sunny could find the kill. Dancing around the pole, tagging them up, they're both so low, he's got to switch out to the USP, grabs the MP9 instead, and here comes the pain train, baits them out with a fake flash, he's being pushed, Cooper goes in with the P250, and stops the chances of him causing so much chaos in the round.
I can't believe he stuck with that SG for so long. Like, the first kill there, you can see the shadow, at the very least there. But it's the fact that he does, you know, he's on 6 spots, he does this lovely little crouch.
Yeah, it was nice.
But the single boop. And even when he was peeking Markey with the actual SG originally, he still tagged him with one of those bullets. Very unlucky. That was basically a 1v5, in all honesty.
It was so close to happening. Ooh, all right.
This is an Arlu buy, isn't it?
The blue spruce.
This is very much an Arlu buy. And I don't mind it too much. So eUnited did that grenade a lot in the actual Liquid game. That Molotov return. Markey needs to go through the door, doesn't he?
He's going to burn. Oh, all right. He's been able to extinguish it ever so slightly. Now gets the read. He knows that it's a shotgun. Waiting to chip away at him. Oh, all right. That's a deagle straight to the face.
Sergey's kind of sticking around for more, although he will walk back. Oh, might have taken the wrong exit. Should be an easy one for Cooper to find. Yep. Kind of unlucky that it was a deagle inside door, really, all things considered, because they only had pistols anyway.
That's the thing, going into it, ENCE had way weaker firepower, but they've utilized it in such a way where it hasn't really mattered. Sunny doing a good Alu impression here, however.
Yeah, both Sunny and Sergey showing up when they need to so far this game. Ooh, I think Cooper saw him. It's right on peak.
Knows,
yep.
yeah.
Right, how does Alu strike with the shotgun here? Because the XM's got decent range, but it's not that, amazing.
Ooh.
Cooper heard him and saw him.
He spotted him out. Yeah.
He should have.
He fully goes into it. At that point, you would have expected him to hit. He made so much noise. He nearly got the follow-up headshot as well. He at least got them low, but luckily Vanity, he's able to spam down and clean up, as that could have got much more awkward. Instead, it leaves him in this position, 10-4 now, as eUnited have brought it back into a way better spot than they were originally in this first half.
Yeah, considering how it was looking, this is actually a really good recovery. In their minds, they need to get the 5th, really, because that way you don't have to put as much weight on the pistol, right?
Yeah.
Because that's... If you go into a half 11-4, you're thinking, if we lose the pistols, 12, you kind of feel like baited into buying second as well. Oh, Sunny's charging. So he's already at the close rock. Flash will come in, misses everything, doesn't actually get the kill there. Very quick on the actual shot there from Vanity.
How does Alu opt to play this? Because he could be a huge thorn in their side, really.
Freakzoid's doing a nice bait play there. He's not planning to go for this at all. He's hoping for a re-aggression from another player.
Oh, the timing, however. He is pushing up, Ben.
Ooh, the shadow. Good HE, though. And they actually got monster control. So Alu, something between a rock and a hard place, really, in the sense. Or, I suppose, an AK and fire. Results in his death, which means 3v4. ENCE, you kind of have to take a bold gamble here, really, don't you? You only got 3 pistols. It's unlikely you manage to retake the site.
Yeah.
So you might as well try and go 3 stack in my mind.
It is probably worth just putting all your firepower in one place. You got the highest chance.
X7's on his way to B.
He is heading over. They're all just going to group up for it. There is a smoke down on short as well, but that's probably going to be gone by the time they even get close at this point. It's been down for a couple of seconds already.
The key entities are those flashbangs on the CT side. So Sergey's just used one, and unfortunately Aerial, he peeked it, but didn't quite get the kill. So they should know there's another player here, 100%. Where do they think he is, though?
Who's going to win? eUnited, a one-barrely boy, as he opens it up with the first frag, tries to convert into the second, but he couldn't quite do it. X7
through the smoke, he walks out. No, he thought he had the kill, Ben. It was just the tag, and Cooper strikes back, smites him, and that is the end of the first half. However, there is more action to come after the break.
Walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby. Pinch me and you make believe we dream.
And welcome back now to ENCE versus eUnited. Well, we'll continue on here on Overpass, Ben. eUnited are able to claw it back, get themselves at least 5 rounds to play with, and 5 very juicy rounds they were indeed. But ENCE, they're going to be looking for a strong start on their T-side pistol now.
Yeah, looking for that strong start. B short control being taken by eUnited quite early. A combined effort, really. The boost actually spotting the early peak. This is going to be a monster actual push from them. Aerial in a key spot. Actually wins the fight before the flash has even gone off, and he was somehow very close to winning the fight while blind there.
He's Daredevil.
On the T side, I'm actually okay with that trade because you get the information there was at least 3 players there. And you can see the move right now. Arlu charging all the way up with Sergey behind him.
Oh, food. It's a nice way to start it off as he pops their heads clean off. Marky as well, beautiful moves as he bounces his way atop his teammate's head to get a good peer in towards the site. There's the flashbang on the entry. They're going to swarm their way back in. The battle over bank doesn't go too well for Sergey. Cooper punishing 2 of them, and it's 1x7. The P250 curse reigns supreme as he won't be able to find the frags, and he does go down.
I actually like the idea by United there. They retook the site before the bomb went down just because we're all here. We might as well just clear it fully right now. Don't even bother giving them the actual $800 for fun. And it's worked out beautifully, right? I mean, what's quite amusing though is Marky, he was down to what, 6 bullets, I think, in his USP by the end of the round? Kind of concerning if the actual push did slow down, like the first player gets killed, and he has to go back and he's ended up just trying to reload. He's like, I've got 1 bullet. Oh, this is a giveaway round. Freakazoid.
Oh, the money maker, Ben. They have all been
Look at
fed.
those flash assists.
Oh, Marky denied the 5.
He denied the 5, but also got the extra $600, so they got $3,000 in kill rewards there.
There you go.
That's cheeky. Very nice. So a combined effort, really. They maximised the potential income, assuming there was no shotguns in play. So what that means is you've got Freakazoid on a lot more money than his teammates actually are. And ENCE, look, even though they didn't get a plant, look at that buy. You know, they very willingly got, I'd say, destroyed on that pistol. It was, what, 1 kill? And then otherwise, they got no kills in the second as well. So at United, I think there's some miscommunication there on what they want to do. They've got 4 players towards B right now. And it looks like they didn't go through the short smoke, which was actually to get rid of the Molotov thrown. They want to utilise the 3 MP9s that they did have. And unfortunately for them, it doesn't quite work out.
This could be a struggle. If Sunny went for a confident play here as well, they would actually be pretty exposed right now. Luckily, he's been able to reposition in the meantime. The nade forces him off the angle, so he doesn't fancy running into the unknown. Instead, resets, left on 41 HP. Cooper nearly gets contact there, Ben. The timing is going to be ever so slightly awkward. He backs off, his back's turned, but he isn't going to be visible at least. He can tuck in.
Yeah, United committed quite a long time to having 4 players there. But it's going to get to a point Cooper needs to actually get the information. And the question is, does he do it at a point where somebody's watching it? The answer is no, but Sergey's coming back and actually gets the... he doesn't even get the first shot off in that situation, but obviously this SG, 1 bullet to the head and you're dead.
Like 7. Going to try and give us a good display of that as well, but the bunny hopping of Marky gets him away. He's going to be able to hop himself to safety. Response for the Molotov over towards short, trying to block off the angle. Alu goes all in with the AK. Does get traded on, but that Molotov is about to fade, and they'll be able to push their way in towards the site. They do kick up a fuss in the meantime, but it was only left on the hands of Vanity, and he couldn't withstand the brute force that came through. ENCE, they pick up that round. That's now 11 in their bank.
Marky's been quite a bouncy boy.
He's been bunny hopping everywhere in
second half, hasn't he? Obviously, in the first half, he does the lovely jump onto the actual boost on short, doesn't he, to get the kill. But on that CT pistol, for example, he was just fully going the whole way around. So because of how nicely done that actual second round was, we can see the difference in money. They still have decent weaponry, in all fairness, on the CT side. But this is a different kind of call, though. ENCE, they're fully committing. Sergey's through.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
He's burning. Luckily, he's been able to actually extinguish it, but he runs straight into the pain train anyway. Aerial's the only one that actually survives after he smites his way through Marky. And now
That's a CT smoke landing on short.
Ooh, okay. Well, they're completely exposed as well as Freakazoid was actually able to push up from the sideline. Food's walking through the smoke, crouched, and his barrel's going to come out, giving Alu clean vision onto that. Cooper
If he extends too far around, Alu should be able to find the return shot.
Freaks was looking to clear it. Thankfully, though, Cooper does go for a wide peek. So that B rush, a bit forced, I think it's fair to say. Somebody should have had the smoke out for Sergey there, because he was so far ahead that he should have been able to get that first kill with no hassle. But instead, he has to put the Molotov out himself, delays him quite a bit. eUnited take a pause, potentially thinking about what kind of buy will ENCE actually have, because honestly, we can see the money right here. It shouldn't be a buy, although if it is, it'll be a terrible one, in my mind. You've got 3 players who have semi-decent money. Sonny's got okay cash, I guess. Like, he's 4250, he can get an SG, smoke, flash, armor. That's not too bad. But Aerial and Alu, they can't even get AK head armor. It's not great. But with the 2 players on 1950, it kind of feels like you should probably buy with them. But it doesn't look like that'll be the case. It looks like it's going to be pistols. They'll drop pistols across to the 2 players with low economy. And see what they can do with the 2 smokes and 3 flashbangs. It's not exactly an unwinnable round, in all fairness. You've got armor on 2 players. You get a rifle on one of them. They get an extra kill. It won't be too bad. Well, Cooper's actually peeking mid, but are they showing? He doesn't actually see anybody.
Classic front toilet smoke goes up. And he's going to be blocked off, but Cooper has the confidence to peek it. Does get the read, but can't actually land the shot. They're all going to be walking through the smoke, but they don't go at the same time. They're going one by one, and they're just feeding themselves to Vanity. He gets 2 of them. Cooper assists with a 3rd. Sonny gets a backstab off, sure, but that's all it was.
Yeah, I mean, you've killed the player who has the UMP.
Yeah.
He's already got, what,
He's
2
made
kills?
way more money back.
As well as a regular kill with USP. The UMP payoff is already there, and he wins the round. It's not the best kill you can find, although any kill's good, but eesh. A bold call, all things considered. Like, it's not like they had a read based on a previous round or anything regarding that front toilet smoke. This looks very different from eUnited, though. Freakazoid being on the actual A side of the map, 4 players A side as well. So Cooper peeking the regular thing he's done all game so far. I think Aerial just used the bomb as a fake flash, or he at least threw it back down the stairs. Which kind of works both ways. Alu. Can't be thinking he actually lands the shot there. Oh. I'm surprised it didn't go through.
Oh. I was going to say, this might have actually given Sergey an opportunity to work his way up behind them. They did get distracted by Alu momentarily, but as they then all funnel their way through connector out to face towards short, they just get annihilated. X7 and Sonny both doing a tremendous job of shutting them down and stopping any potential shenanigans developing into the round. Marquis, he's going to really find himself up against a full frontal assault, though, as they are all sprinting in towards the B-bomb site now. They've got control of it. The bomb gets planted, and the only one that's actually still alive is Cooper, AWP in hand, tiptoeing his way back through the tulips to find a potential saving spot, Ben.
Yeah, needs to stay alive. Like, all things considered, they'll still have a buy next round. It's just he kind of needs to stay alive to get a drop across towards Vanity. So, on the end side of things, you kind of would just want to keep 4 alive. Like, as much as the AWP would be great to get rid of, it's much nicer to be able to build an economy on the T side, in my mind. So, quite an unusual round, though. Like, it didn't seem like that mid-push was very orchestrated or, like, well thought through, because it's not like they ran in a certain direction you could see. Like, person A go here, B go here, C go here. It was kind of all over the place, in honesty. Like, Alu should have probably got the opening kill when he actually did get a chance to. Obviously, Sergey inside door gets the 1. They exit through short. They forced themselves out through short, really, without knowing are they even on it properly.
That was the play that felt like it was a bit much. Like,
yeah,
kind of not necessary, but sure, if you went for it and it paid off, then yeah. But
it's, like, that's incredibly high risks for not high reward either. Like, because the reward technically should be you get out short, you live, really. Kills are a bonus in that situation. So the question is, what is the reaction off of that then? So obviously, they are always going for an aggressive play. This time eUnited. Which means ENCE, they take their time actually going forward. Not as much time as we saw previously, though. eUnited were much slower on the T sides. That smoke's perfect as well.
Cooper's blocked off. Actually having to back off.
Oh, the flick! The transition was lovely, but there was no connection, unfortunately. And now he's going to have to back his way off towards the site. The smoke wall goes up, which will slow them down even more. This is already quite a slow round. We're hitting 50 seconds on the clock at this point as the flashbangs start to go over. From either side, though, as they're trading utility here, Ben.
That Molotov is a complete waste in my mind by Vanity there.
There's a follow-up as well.
Like, I understand the highway one, like into toilets. That seems to be like a... If they were planning to come A, it probably would happen in the next 10 seconds. But the one towards long, it's not like it cut the choke point entirely, right? It was just in a very wide area. It doesn't really do much. There's not much time left. Marquis close right of Monster here, but X7's walking out. He started running now thanks to the cover from Food. This could go very badly.
Ooh. Marquis peeked off the back of the audio cue from the flashbang as he was playing anti-flash, but they've just got into the site, slain each and every one of the people trying to defend it. Vanity, luckily, really starts to go sick into the round as he gets a free K, one after another, just popping off there with the M4 to clutch that one out. eUnited, at the start of the second half, it honestly looked like they were really just struggling their way into it, and this was probably going to be the ENCE show. However, that has not been the case at all. They look much more awake at this point. They're hitting some absolutely tasty shots, and they've got themselves back in the game, Ben. There's now only 2 rounds difference between either side.
Yeah, an interesting round, all things considered, because it felt like they'd taken a lot of damage just to get through towards Playground there. That's the same Molotov that's been there every time, and Cooper gets even more utility damage onto X7. So we didn't see the utility damage heavily on the T side for United, but CT side, we're starting to see more of it come through. Oh, Cooper needs backup.
Oh. He gets the spot off, but it was such a hard shot to hit. Luckily, they give him a second opportunity and nearly a third as well, as they're pushing him one by one. Cooper, they're literally just giving themselves so many isolated attacks where they can't effectively trade for one another. They're all going towards him one by one, Ben.
Alu?
He's killed 3 of them, but Alu has had enough slaughtering them all, and it's just gone down to Freakazoid. Sunny, he wants to recover the bomb. He needs to as well. They've still got a minute. He grabs it, but he's got to scurry his whole way over towards the B-bomb site. He's going to be sprinting the whole way back around through spawn to link up with Alu. They have 1 smoke and 1 flash, and they also have the upper hand in terms of the positions they're in. Freakazoid is miles away at this point and doesn't realize where they actually are.
I think the greatest concern, though, is Freakazoid normally plays the rotate player on B. So Alu got those 2 kills towards short. Normally, he would be on that B site anyway, which is why Alu, he'd never actually pushed into the site. He held for another push. And instead, they played this correctly in the 2v1. But they do still need to hold for the actual post plan, because he does have a kit. He's got full HP. That smoke finally gives them the information that it is towards this B-bomb site. The door being closed, it depends on how loud the actual comms are in this situation. He's actually going to save. He's going to go for a Cooper's AWP, I imagine. So they surrender the 13th round to ENCE, but you've got to be thinking, Cooper's done an absolute incredible job at A-long toilets there. He's killed 3. Even though we pressured from both sides, he went both sides, killing 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and finally got pushed from that final person. But why have they pushed B short? That's the real question, because you don't need to.
They were in a good spot in the round. Cooper had done so much, and then literally in seconds, Alu struck, and struck really hard. And that's netted him a major win there in the grand scheme of things. Putting yourself onto that 13th round position is a huge victory to walk away with. But they still need more, Ben.
He gets the kill on Sergey, which is fine. X7 tries to get the push on the other side, which isn't too coordinated. And, Aerial tries his very best to bait the shot as much as he can. But Alu getting those 2 kills on short changed that entire situation. 13-10. Look at the buy that's come out from United as well.
Double mag 7.
1 without armor, bear in mind. I suppose you don't need armor with that weapon, right? You shouldn't need it, rather. Could be rough if he actually advances. He shouldn't go any further than the corner he's actually stood on there.
Right, well, let's see if this Professor Chaos special is going to pay off. If they do get in close range, Ben, he can definitely do some damage. As they are pushing their way towards him. He's on the angle. He should be ready for this.
It really depends on how good the flash is or what they prioritize with the flash. Sunny goes without a flash, doesn't actually care whatsoever. Gets the kill regardless, but there's an immediate trade though. Cooper using that AWP.
It gets the wallbang off. The whole unit is on the move as well. All three of them just sprinting their way up towards the A site off the back of the contact they've had. They are going to go for a bit of a big man stack over
They're already here.
They're out through long. The smoke goes up. They'll get the read off that. Cooper, he has to try and reposition because of this as well, knowing that he'd be so open. Freakazoid giving you the 101 on Max 7 use, though. It's a huge tag. Softens up Aerial so much. He doesn't have that much sustain left in him. He's on 42 HP. X7 is still over by Connector as well, and there's 35 seconds left on the clock. If they want to try and go for a gamble late round B play, they could do so. But it depends what they're going to do with it. They've still got time. They've still got control of this round, but they are heading their way out towards the A site. Cooper, hard scoped in, ready for the push to come through. In reality, he probably gets this initial pick here. They make noise as well, so it makes his life so much easier. There's the first. X7, he has to channel his inner godlike strength. Gets the double kill. You've got 5 seconds, though. You need to go for the frag. You're not going to be able to plant the bomb. He's got to sprint away. Food realizes this. He was safe to just sit in a defensive angle. And eUnited get another round.
He got the AWP as well. That's the classic, I've bound something to plus left.
Yeah.
That's a really awkward round in some ways, because it looks like they were charging up long before they, like, the actual players rotate onto the site, right? Like, it kind of goes both ways. Obviously, from our point of view, we're thinking, why have they not just charged immediately and taken the gamble? But at the same time, it's like, if there is a player there and they flashed it and then they killed that person, it looks great. 13 to 11, though. This has probably been one of the weakest games in terms of overall full buys I think I've seen in quite a while. Like, I don't think many teams, well, either team has had more than, say, 7, maybe 8 full buy rounds. Like, if you do it by equipment value, they probably have, but it's like, there's been a lot of missing utility across the board. So with 2 SGs, Sunny and X7 having them. Cooper's been so good with this AWP, this map.
Oh, that's the peek into him from Sunny. No opportunity to actually get a second frag, though, as Aerial's galeeled him out of the server. Vanity with a UMP, not actually going to get the kill, Ben. He leaves Sergey on 4, literally 4 HP. Bounces in towards the site to go for the bomb plant as well. And eUnited are probably just going to concede this one.
That's a really awkward round to lose, though, because Vanity should be getting that kill 99 times out of 100. Like, we'll accept that's the one, right? Because that's... It's very rare that you actually get the full 180 to the exact location, right? But Cooper potentially overstepping a bit, right? He's been in... that seems to be his role on this map anyway. Like, he just goes on his own, you know, path on towards A, peaks things. If he gets the kills, you're like, great. If he doesn't, there's nobody there to support him.
Yeah.
So we saw the effect of nobody there to support him, he only gets the 1. If you're trading 1-for-1 with their AWP on A-site Mirage... Overpass, sorry. I'm got to be thinking that's perfect, right? Because frankly, the AWP is such a nuisance when it comes from that A site. That's such a weird trade as well, just like on the way he died, because it felt like Cooper probably could have got a second.
Yeah.
He's forced into a scout this time as well. Eek.
Definitely doesn't have the same ring to it. At this point as well, the fact it's 14 to 11, so ENCE, they're so close to closing this one down. Oh, it doesn't matter that it's a scout, though. He still slumps out Alu.
It's a good nade as well. Putting themselves in a very good position here, but if they burst, they might catch them off guard.
Oh, Aerial straight in. Oh my goodness, the Sunny as well finds the follow-up frag back onto Food. X7 fancies a piece of the pie. And that is Marky done for. It's all down to Cooper and Vanity. They don't really have the best weapons for a retake of this stance, but they're going to give it a damn good try, it seems. Vanity on the full rotation around. Cooper peering from above, seeing what he can spot out. If he can hit a headshot with it, the scout will still do an awful lot of damage, but Vanity...
He wants the AWP.
He's going for the full rotation, yeah.
He can't seem to find it. I'm going to guess that Sergey did actually go and remove it, or was it actually on the body? Yeah, it must have been removed.
Yeah, he's probably picked it up and been able to take it out of there at this point.
In which case, wouldn't it not be on the hedges? I don't think you'd be able to get it anyway, but like, yeah. It has to be around that survey unless you drag it all the way back to T-spawn with you, which is really... oh, there it is. He actually took it all the way to Club Bunny. That was his entrance fee.
That was his +1.
Yeah, that works better, actually. So 15-11. eUnited feels like they were dragging themselves back into the game, but they've had so many different little slip-ups the whole way through. A similar story to the Liquid game, I suppose, but not as many, like, unlikely rounds, right? Like, they made a good comeback. It was, what, 10-5 at the half?
Mm.
And consider they won the pistol. Yeah, it's quite a difficult one, but I'm not sure what you can actually go for in this tactical timeout, because a lot of the rounds you've relied on Cooper with his AWP. He has a scout again. He did get a kill with the scout last round. But there hasn't been much else to support him on the CT side, other than that one round from Vanity. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, round 27 could very well be the last round of the game here, potentially, as eUnited, they don't have the best firepower in the world. We've got two Famises, a Scout and a UMP coming in strong for them in this one, whereas ENCE, they are armed to the teeth, looking like a bunch of mighty warlords right now. Let's see if they can cause some chaos into this one, Ben. The early nade goes out. Cooper going to get slowed down ever so slightly, but it won't remove any confidence from him. Still goes for a wide swing and tags up Alu.
Yeah, good tag, but at the same time, Marky took damage towards B as well. So 30 HP on two of the players that are alive on either side. So short control is achieved. Connector control essentially achieved as well. But the thing is, what do you actually do with that information that you have right now? Sunny's planning to take it though. If the flash has to come in. I thought for a second Food was just staring at the flashbang. But alas, he gets the kill on Sunny. And that's actually another man advantage. We saw the same last round. There's no opportunity for a quick play from ENCE this time though. Although that might be negated right now. Trade is already through, so 4v4. 45 seconds, looks like I'm going to be walking through Monster. Marky at barrels. If he can remain undetected, he could be the actual linchpin in this defense.
Trying to bombard their way in towards the site. Marky with the CZ from quite a distance actually gets the kill back onto X7. They're dancing around the pole, hoping to delay. Freakers up with the UMP comes in clutch though, and this puts them in a way better position. Alu's only on 1 HP. He's got an AWP in his hands, and now he doesn't have a head. Physically removed there by Freakazoid as eUnited keep on for another round at the very least.
So, I mentioned Marky being at barrels being the key part in that defense. Alu tried to do the Molotov from outside Monster over towards barrels, and it hit the wall in front of him, and actually delayed him getting through Monster. And that meant somebody on B short had to throw the Molotov from short instead, which meant the Molotov could have gone somewhere else. Marky then pushed out, got that kill, as you saw, which meant he was able to get out fully. There was no issue, and it kind of won the round, really. But that's a concern, though, if you've got situations like that occurring. Alu, oh. Vanity had no idea about that potential. The Molotov normally lands on that mid-flooring and stops that actual peak from happening so early. Cooper's remaining ahead, though. He wants to keep that map control in theirs. And they're taking B short control again. They saw the door close, but Sunny's in the corner.
No, they walk straight into it, Ben. They've been absolutely sideswiped. Alu closing it down essentially at this point as Cooper's going to be killed. And it's all on Freakazoid. There's no chance. Sergey pushes in towards the site. They are going to close it down and win that one in a 16-12 fashion as ENCE overthrow eUnited here on the first map of this best of 3, Ben.
Yeah, and that is eUnited's pick as well. 16-12. The same result that they had against Liquid. A lot of situations where they should have done better, but ultimately they've got to be thinking about map 2.
Yeah, map 2 that is going to be coming up after the break. For now, though, we'll leave you with these replays.